go. All right, cool. Thank you guys for hopping on. I feel like I haven't hosted a team call in a while, so I'm kind of excited to do this again. I wanted to do this call now particularly because Melissa and I were kind of talking the other day about these next couple of months and how we're coming upon this quarter and these next 3 months where you're going to hear people say that it's slow. You're going to hear people say that nobody wants to do anything in the last quarter because of the holidays. Nobody's into fitness, blah, 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 whatever. And I started thinking about last year. And it dawned on me that the last quarter of 2015, as a team, we actually had more diamonds emerge in that last 3 months than we had the entire 3 quarters combined. And so I started thinking that maybe there was something to that. I know I personally had 2 coaches that advanced in that last quarter. I think Melissa, I think you had like 1 or 2 as well in that last quarter. I know Jennifer had 3 in that last quarter. So it got me thinking, okay, like maybe we could do that again. Like maybe, what was the difference last time? So I asked myself, why? What was the difference? Like what made these coaches so successful at a time that everybody else is complaining is slow and that they can't, that they're not doing it, right? That they can't get people to join the challenge group. So before I kind of go into that, I wanted to do something with you guys. And if you have a pen and a piece of paper, I want you to just write down really quick what your goal date for Diamond is. So maybe you've thought about it before, maybe you already know, comes to like when you want to hit it. Maybe you haven't really thought about it. So kind of think about it now, like what is your goal date? If you're already Diamond, what is the date that you want your next rank advancement to be? So I'll give you guys a second to write that. And then when you have it done, just kind of set it aside. Okay. I think that should be enough time. Okay, so when I was thinking about the difference between our last quarter and kind of the quarter that everybody else was having, I feel like the people who were able to achieve Diamond in that last quarter were the people who were focusing on the first quarter of the following year. So that first quarter of 2017, that January, February, March that comes up. Because we know as a business that that is our best quarter of the year. That's when people are like ready to jump on board. They want to get into challenge groups. They're kind of interested, in coaching. They know that they need to make a change, and that's the time that they're ready to do it. But it's not like January 1st is this magical date that people are knocking down the door to get into your challenge group. It's those people that you connected with in October. You invited them to your challenge group and they said no because Halloween's coming and the house is going to be full of candy, so they can't do it. And then you invited them in November. And they said that they can't because family's coming into town, Thanksgiving's coming up, maybe next time. You invited them in December, and then kids are off of school for 2 weeks, family's in town, Christmas is all over the place. So now is not a good time. But January, you connect with those people, and it's like, this girl has been wanting me to get into a group. I keep seeing her posts. I need to do something, and I need to do it now. That's the momentum that's built from planting those seeds now. That's how you're going to generate that momentum and have that awesome first quarter of next year. But that doesn't magically happen. That starts from us planting those seeds now. And planting those seeds now and that increased activity over the next 3 months is what also allows you to hit your goals for these months. So to hit your goal of Diamond or to hit your goal of Success Club every single month. That comes from planting those seeds now. And I think that that's the shift that we kind of had last year. So tonight's call, we're going to talking about the strategy of getting to Diamond, especially in these next 3 months, making that your goal by the end of the year and how it's absolutely 100% doable during these next 3 months, this next season coming up. So we're going to kind of discuss 2 parts. And the first part is going to be that mental strategy of getting to Diamond. And then the second part is that physical strategy. And it's not going to be, it's not like something you've never heard before. It's not going to be this mind-blowing. It's going to be things that you've heard before, but it's focusing in on that activity and kind of stepping up that game over the next, couple of months. So let's start with the mental strategy. And by the way, all these ideas came from a call that I listened to last year by Lindsay Matway. And it was when I was trying to qualify for the New Leaders Retreat. And it was about this time, not last year. And I needed another diamond to pop up. And I had my husband's business center. And I was trying to get my husband to diamond, and I only had like 5 weeks to do it. And the first time that I hit diamond, it took me like 6-7 months. And so I knew that I didn't have that kind of time frame this time around. And so I was kind of looking for anything that I could figure out what I could do to kind of get there. And so a lot of what she said, I hold a lot of weight with what she said, because I feel like it really made the difference. And I was able to get him there in, like, I think right at the cutoff, and it was right within that 4 to 5 weeks. So I really put a lot of stock in what she said, and I know how much implementing these things can make such a difference, in your business. Okay. Again, this is going to be nothing new, but belief in yourself is everything. It starts, and it's the same thing with our customers and in our challenge groups. If they don't believe that they can do it, if their mindset is not in the right place, nothing is going to happen. You're not going to get any results. You're not going to push past those hard times. So even though this is something you may have heard it before, that you have to believe in yourself, I have to, and I'm asking you guys to listen to it again, but apply it with the mindset, with the thought of using it towards your goals, right? So commit to every single day, no matter what happens, no matter how you're feeling about your business, doing whatever it takes to not let that waver. Because that's not a natural thing. Like, self-doubt is natural. Negativity is natural. Like, negative people surround us. The news is negative. We live like in this negative world. It takes actual conscious effort to literally push those thoughts out of your mind. So if you're telling yourself, you know what, I don't think I can do this, or I don't know if I'm cut out for this, then what's going to happen? If you don't think you're good at something, you're not going to want to do it. You're not going to do it, right? So if you tell yourself every single day and do whatever you have to do to make sure that you're following through with that every single day. So whether it's positive affirmations every day, whether it's notes on your bathroom mirror, whether it's notes on your computer, notes on your phone, whatever it is that you have to tell yourself every single day. And then the moment that those thoughts start creeping into your mind, that I don't know if I can do this, I don't think I'm good enough, you literally have to protect your mindset and shove it out of your mind like you would shove a stranger out of your house. And say, you know what, I can't tell myself that. Like, Melissa and I have had this conversation several times. I am useless if my mind is not in the right place. I just don't do the activities. But your mind is so, so powerful. Like, you could literally move mountains if you believed that you could. So knowing how important your mind is to this business and what you believe in yourself, you cannot let any outside sources affect that, because that's going to affect your activity. Where am I? Not only that, the way that you feel about yourself will also come through in your messages. It's going to come through in your posts. It's going to come through, and it's going to change the way that people connect with you, the way that people react to you. So think about a conversation with a competent coach versus a conversation with a not competent coach. So if you're sitting there and you're talking to a coach and they're really confident about their programs, they're really confident in their abilities, how is that conversation going to go? They're going to say things to you like, I know things haven't worked out for you in the past. I know your other but you know what? If you commit to me for the next 21 days, you are going to get results. And I am going to be there for you. And I am going to run with you if you want to run. And we are going to do this together. Like, what a different conversation that is from somebody who may not be so confident in their abilities and who's using words like, well, I think maybe, and I hope you do. And yeah, Shakeology is a little bit expensive, but if you just, I think you kind of get the point that I'm saying, is like, the conversation is going to be different. And in a business where people could get these products from anybody, they're really buying you. And so if you don't have that belief in yourself, if you're sitting there asking yourself, am I good enough to coach them? Can I really help them get results? I promise you, they're thinking the same thing. But if you are confident that what you have can help them and that this time can be different for them than every other time has been before, and you paint that vision and that picture for them, then they start to believe, you know what, I can do it, and she's going to help me do it. And now you're the person that they want to go to, and you don't have to worry about losing that coach to some other coach, or that customer to somebody else, or them purchasing on Amazon, because they want to be a part of you. They want to be a part of your groups. They want what you have, because you have this happiness and this positivity and this confidence, and that's what they want. And that's how, when you believe in yourself, the way that you talk, and I mean really believe in yourself, the way that you talk is going to be completely different, and people are going to react to you in a different way and connect with you on on a better level, basically. Think about when you first started as a coach, or when one of your coaches started. What is that initial feeling that you had, that initial belief that you had? Nobody started this business to make, $15 a week. Like, when you started this business, you believed, you know what, I have all these dreams that I can do, and this is the avenue that I'm going to do it. At the very least, you said, I'm going to work from home and I'm going to contribute to my family's income. You had that initial belief in yourself, right? But then what happens? Time goes by, things maybe don't work out the way that you think that they do, and so slowly we start doubting ourselves, when really this business just takes time. It just takes patience. It takes learning to build. It really doesn't have anything to do with you or the person that you are. It has to do with perfecting those skills. So I'm encouraging you guys, and I'm asking you guys over the next 90 days to think about that, and to not allow yourselves to put yourselves down like that, or to think that way about yourselves, that this isn't something that you can do. And then at all times, acting as that coach that you want to be. So when I started sending messages, and even now kind of, I really struggled with the conversations that would end in, well, I don't know. I mean, I kind of want to do it, but it's a lot of money. I don't really know if I want to spend it. Like those, I would never know how to respond to, because it wasn't a yes. So, I didn't want to lose them, but they didn't say no either. But I didn't want to seem pushy. I was almost afraid to talk about their objections. So before, I had started following a coach who was, she was super confident in her challenge groups. She was super confident in her team and her programs. And I kind of started seeing her posts, and I started seeing how she would talk, and how she started talking about, and whenever anybody threw up any kind of objection or hesitation, she was unwavering. She knew that this was something that would work for them. And so when I would respond to those messages, before I would send that message, I would think to myself, how would this coach respond to this message? Now, I'm not saying to be somebody else or to try to enact somebody else's personality. I'm saying, think like the coach that you want to become. So if you want to be a top 10 coach, if you want to be an elite coach, if you want to be a Success Club all-star coach, if you want to have, a massive organization, think about how that coach, how would they invite somebody to the opportunity? What might they say? How would they invite somebody to a challenge group? Do you believe that an elite coach is scared to invite somebody to a challenge group? No, because they've seen the results. They've seen the successes that come from it. So we may not personally have those successes, but we know that given the activities, that's going to be there, that, those that will happen for us at that point. So not faking who you are, not saying things that aren't true, but acting like that coach you want to be. I can promise you that there is no top 10 coach. There is not any six-figure earning coach that did not sit down to their desk every single day believing that they were already a top 10 coach, believing that they were already a six-figure earning coach. That was just this belief that they had when they sat down and they knew it was going to happen. They knew they were capable of doing it. They acted as if that's what they were, and that's what they became. And so that's what I mean when I say your mind can move mountains. And so if you want to be a top 10 coach, even if you don't, if you want to earn a certain amount of money, if you wholeheartedly believe that you can do it, then there's nothing that's going to stop you, and that you will get there. And that's where sometimes diamond can seem like this big milestone that, is really hard to reach and that we can't necessarily get there. But the truth is that if you believe that you can do it and you don't allow yourself to have those thoughts creeping in, then you can do it, and a lot quicker than you probably think, that you can, that you previously maybe thought that you could have. All right, another minute. Oh, I've seen, when it comes to rejection, I've seen a lot of, it takes some getting used to, right? And so I've seen sometimes coaches who can be maybe like paralyzed by rejection. I know that like I could before. It's like you worked so hard to send these messages to people, and then they respond to you and they're just completely not interested, right? Or even worse, maybe they're a little bit mean about it. Maybe they're not, maybe they're not necessarily nice about it. But we cannot let the choices that other people make determine the way that we're going to live our lives, determine whether this business is going to be successful for us, determine what our income is going to be, what the outcome is going to be, right? That's all in our control. We can't control the people that say yes, but we can control how many people we reach out to. We all have these big, amazing goals, but we have to protect that. And we can't let any outside force change or diminish these goals in any way at all. One coach going in another direction is not going to make or break your business. One challenger saying no, they don't want to be a part of this, is not going to make or break your business. So if this is something that you want, and this is something that we really want, and it's a goal that, you know, we really want to hit, you have to be focused and know that nothing is going to stop you from reaching the goal. We know, I know you guys have all heard that saying, like, whether you believe you can, whether you believe you can't, you're right. And I love how Lindsay put it in the call that I listened to, because she had said, if you believe that this business is hard, if you believe that it's going to take you a year to get to diamond, if you believe that you'll never be six figures, if you'll never be a top 10 coach, that nobody wants to join your team, that nobody wants to work out, you know, during the holidays, then you're right. And you will always struggle in this business. That's exactly what's going to happen. But if you believe that there are millions of people out there who need you and who need your help and who are waiting to connect with somebody just like you, then you will find those people and you will create that momentum in your business that will carry you from month to month to month. So what we have to do is become so focused and so clear that we can achieve these things, and the results will eventually come. I wholeheartedly believe that every single person on this team has the ability to change hundreds of thousands of lives. When you see the ripple effect that one coach can create, it's such an amazing thing. We talk about Success Club and we talk about the 3 Lives Club, but your efforts, when you start and you start hosting challenge groups, and then you have your coaches who start hosting challenge groups and they can get past these hurdles and they have that mindset and that belief that they can do anything. You alone have the ability to create this massive network of people who are not only getting healthier, who are not only losing weight, but who are literally changing their lives for the better. And that is clearly, that is something to be protected. That is something that is so powerful with the opportunity that we have. And so that alone is just such a reason to push past that and to just put blinders on, forget everything else, forget what people think, what people say, focus on your goals, focusing what you want, what your team wants, and then sending that out there and letting that kind of ripple effect take place. Okay, I think I'm done with that. Sorry guys, I ramble, I don't know. Okay, so we'll kind of get to like the actual strategy part now, but I wanted to really emphasize on that because I 100% believe that you can have all the strategy in the world, but if your heart is not in it, if your mind is not in it, you're just going to be spinning your wheels. And we always talk about, you know, you see these 90-day group, 90-day push to diamond, 60-day push to diamond, even 30 days. Why do we do that, right? Why do we put this time limit on it? And it's because I think we've been around long enough to see people spinning their wheels. The longer it takes to get to diamond, you'll start to see those coaches that you sign up this month are not going to be there 6 months from now. That emerald coach that came in running right off the bat is not going to, not always, going to continue running 6 months from now. They're going to quit, right? It's just the nature of the business. Discount coaches quit, regular coaches quit. And so if you're building slowly, which again, if that's for you, then I'm not here to tell you anything. That's what you want. But I really believe that everybody who's here on this call is here because you want to make a successful business, because you want to earn a significant income, right? And if that's the case, then diamond is non-negotiable, because that's where everything starts, right? It doesn't seem like that extra $4 a bonus from $14 to $18 makes a huge deal, but it does. And it can add up really quickly. Not only that, as an emerald coach, you're capped out at $250 in bonuses. As a diamond coach, that goes up so much higher. Plus, you now have 12 people in your organization who are on HD every single month and who's generating volume. You also now have people who are working underneath you generating volume as well. So if you're here because you want to build that business, then it's something that's needs to be a focus, not something that it'll happen when it happens, because it doesn't happen. Coaches recycle, not recycle, they fall off. So you are going to get those coaches who are going to fall off, and then 6 months from now, you're going to be so frustrated because you didn't hit diamond yet. And it's not that you're not doing those activities. It's that focused energy, that concentrated energy on making a deadline and hitting that goal, and then working on strengthening that, becoming a strong diamond. but at least you have that initial success. You have that initial volume coming in, that those first couple paychecks would start to make it exciting and then kind of take you to that next level. So that's why we encourage those 60-day groups and those 90-day groups, not just because we want to rank advance every 90 days, which we do, but because it clearly benefits you, so that you're not always spinning your wheels and feeling like it's never going to happen. Okay. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about what worked for me and what I did. And so kind of take it, with a grain of salt, but take the things that work for you and use it, take the things that don't and don't. So, but this is just what worked for me with my husband, getting his business center to diamond, last year. Fail to plan to fail, right? So obviously that we know that like a cornerstone of this business, the first goal is to get to Emerald. There's a really, really easy way to do that. Okay. And so with my first business center, I signed up my mom and my husband. In my husband's, he signed up his mom and his dad. It's just you get bonuses at that point. And so, and you guys know my story. I had absolutely zero extra money to put into this business when I started. So I did it in a way that it didn't cost me anything to have those business centers there. So I was hitting Success Club in my business. So my active status was taken care of, right? But if you're hitting Success Club, then you're clearly having conversations with people who just want the programs and not the Shakeology. So any just program purchases would go under my husband's business center. So I didn't have to worry about keeping him active every single month. I just put any non-challenge pack orders under him. That took care of that. Then as an Emerald coach, 90% of the time, if you've got 2 coaches and you're adding coaches, you're going to make at least 1 cycle bonus a month. 1 cycle bonus is $14. Your business fee is $15.95. If you're generating 1 cycle bonus a month, then your investment in your husband's or your family member's business center is $1.95, $2, which is a small price to pay, considering being at the top of your organization, how invaluable, is that a word? Valuable? Whatever. How valuable, whatever, it is for them to be at the top of that organization, right? So it's going to incentivize you to continue to add coaches because they are where they are. But as long as you're generating that volume, then that business center is essentially paying for itself. With my mom, while I took care of her account, I told her, especially as a new coach, I didn't try to sell her on Shakeology. I didn't try to sell her on the programs. I basically just told her, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to make something of this. I'm going to make this work. So I just need you to help me. I need you to give me 30 days. Just be a coach for 30 days. Give me enough time to replace you, right? Before your next shipment comes through, so that you don't have to put any money into this. Just give me 30 days. Then my job was to find a coach that if she went inactive, I could keep my Emerald status, but it bought me that time, right? So I got there. Fortunately, she ended up loving Shakeology, and she's had her account for like 3 years now. So, but that's and again, that's what we did with my husband, with his mom and his dad. And the thing is if you really think about it, I think if you know that you're going to be successful at this, there's no hesitation. There's no it's worth that extra investment. It's worth that extra effort to place those family members in your business center. And I did it in my business because for me, it was a priority. It was something that I wanted that initial win. I wanted that success. I wanted to sign up as a coach, and I wanted to show people that I was serious and that I was in this for the long haul, and that I could have this immediate win. I could have the success. Like day one, I'm being announced as a coach, and within a couple of weeks, I'm hitting an Emerald. What do your followers, what do they know? Do they know that you only sign 2 coaches? No. They just see that you've hit this advancement in your business. So I think there's just so many benefits to that. And to me, if I'm trying to make Diamond quickly, it's just kind of a no-brainer. Beachbody allows it. You're allowed to 2+2. You're allowed to take care of 2 accounts. Okay. Well, moving forward, Emeralds. So Emeralds take the longest, right? So my first time around, I had gotten my 8 coaches, and I felt like I was waiting for my working coaches to hit Emerald forever. And I know that I was putting unnecessary pressure on them, right? And I want to control as much of my business as I can. I want to control as much of my success as I can. So with my Emeralds, with my husband, I said, you know what? I'm going to get those out of the way first. That is what I'm focusing on right away, because if I can make that happen quickly, then I just need to add coaches, and I can worry about that later. So what I did was, on the 2 accounts that I controlled, I added discount coaches under there. Anybody, like people who just wanted, just for the discount, really had no interest in coaching. And so that was my focus. At the same time, I ran a Let's Go Emerald group with my working coaches, and I offered like this awesome incentive. If you made Emerald within the next X amount of weeks, I can't remember what I offered. I don't know if it was Nike's or a refresh. I don't know what it was, but I offered like this awesome incentive. And so while they're working in this Let's Go Emerald group and I'm working with them and giving them incentives to go Emerald, I'm also looking for discount coaches that I can put underneath one of my family members and kind of working both at the same time. And it just so happened that within the 2 weeks, I had one working coach go Emerald and one Emerald that I built myself, which was pretty nice because I didn't have to build both Emeralds on my own. So I did that together. But doing those things and kind of focusing on, in my opinion, getting those Emeralds out of the way first just pays off so much in the long haul, because you can always kind of find new coaches to add in. I want to also mention, don't be afraid or don't forget about the $40 option. So 4 out of the 8, 9, let's say 10, because the 8 coaches plus the 2 for the Emerald that I got, four out of the 10 coaches that I got were from just the $40 fee. All you need is an active coach, right? They don't have to have a challenge pack in order to become an active coach. So I went back and I messaged every single person who had ever been interested in coaching but couldn't do it because they didn't have the money, and I offered them to sign up with the $40 fee plus a gift certificate to do it. Now we even have the on-demand club membership. So they can start with $40 plus a gift certificate to do it now, or within that time frame that you're setting. And you can still get them started on a program, get them started having results, right? So that they develop that passion. When we sign up a coach, the first 30 days, we're working on getting them to Emerald and getting them to Success Club anyway, right? You're working with those coaches. So odds are, if you're working with them, they're going to sell something or get a program of their own because they maybe tried something and they did a preview of one of our new workouts in the club membership. You've got 30 days, and that's what I would tell them. We have 30 days to make you the money to get your own challenge pack. And then when you get the challenge pack, your $40 gets refunded. And I had 4 signups that way, and they all got active. So I know, people always say that the more skin that you have in the game, the better coaches they are. And so, coaches who don't sign up with the challenge pack don't always do as well. I don't necessarily believe that. Maybe statistically that's the case, but I was a $40 coach. I've never purchased a challenge pack in my primary business center. My last coach that went diamond in May, she was a $40 coach as well. So obviously, if they can get started with the Shakeology and the program, that is the best way to go. But there is value in offering that $40 sign up to them, because you then have 4 weeks to get them active, and usually they do, especially if you're actively working with them. Offer discount coaching before the first renewal of their Shakeology. So when somebody has a challenge pack and you know that in 30 days their Shakeology is going to come out, their club membership is going to come out, and their business fee is going to come out, right? Number one, it just gives you the opportunity to offer good customer service, because you're basically notifying them before that happens, hey, this is going to come out. I know you're doing great. And you can kind of gauge how somebody's been doing over the last month. And if they're doing great in your challenge group and they're getting results, and odds are, they're probably going to order next month, then you message them before that first renewal and say, you're doing great in the challenge group. You're getting great results. I'm excited to start round 2 with you. Did you know you're eligible for this 25% discount? And on top of that, you also get X, Y, and Z from me. And we're going to talk about that. And obviously, you see, a big part of this is incentivizing. And it's just a way to kind of get people to do things now, especially if you have this aggressive goal or you have this time frame that you're trying to meet. Completely lost my train of thought. Happens. What was I saying? Okay, anyways, yeah. So you have that opportunity. It's just coaches that you can add in, don't be afraid to offer the discount coaching, even if they haven't had any interest in traditional coaching. Who doesn't want to save 25%, right? Okay, going into kind of what I said before. Sometimes we get so caught up into our own goals that we project that on other people, and we can maybe forget that people might not be so motivated to help you reach your goal. Whereas people are motivated generally when there's something in it for them. And so that's why, we were talking about incentives, making it something personal, something specific to them, something that might really work for them, might really help them, something that they've really been wanting, making a deal that's like too good to pass up. There's a lot of times where I've seen coaches do things like that, especially with things that are popular at the moment, offering certain kind of gift cards or, shirts or whatever it might be. But it creates this, people like winning things. And it creates, number one, within your team, if you're doing incentives to get your coaches to Emerald, people like healthy competition. It's why we do the cup every quarter, because it just kind of gives people that extra push to get out of their comfort zone because they want to reach something or they want to win something. And then as far as new customers, okay, so I'm spending this, but I get this in return. Well, that kind of washes out. It helps them to justify a purchase. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. There's tons of stuff on Amazon that I've found with a small budget that you can use, that you can kind of give away. It could be an experience. Maybe it's like a dinner, if it's a local thing, or, whatever it might be. But incentives go such a long way. And I know in the beginning, we don't make a ton of money, but it's worth it. And it's worth it to make that investment in the beginning so that you can reap those rewards later on down the road. What I wanted to mention too was getting comfortable getting to diamond is always going to be useful in your business, because there will always be opportunities for you to do it again. Whether it's your husband's business center, whether it's you, every time you open another business center and you get to diamond, that counts as a diamond for you. So getting comfortable doing it and really learning how to aggressively get there within a certain time frame only benefits you even later on down in your business. And then you have this blueprint that you can pass along to your coaches when you're wanting to rank advance as well. Planning out, obviously, your next, 30, 69 days. I think I'm almost done. I don't even know how long I've been going, but I'm almost done. Planning out your next 30, 60, 90 days. Obviously, talking about the opportunity. Once a day, we should be sharing something about, not in a in-your-face, I'm a Beachbody coach kind of way, but just some way that coaching has positively impacted your life. What are you able to do because of this opportunity? Maybe it's a trip that you can take. Maybe it's just staying at home. Maybe it's being able to go to a PTA meeting that you've never been able to go to because you've always been working. Just sharing something like that daily about why you're enjoying your life and how Beachbody is helping you do that. And then one time a week, doing that actual call out that, my team and I were doing whatever it is, a coaching event. I invite you to join me. It's changed my life because of X, Y, and Z. And then so you're dripping those breadcrumbs and then doing that actual personal invite. Last thing I have was the challenge group that I did right before all of those coaches signed up. I don't think it's any coincidence that it's one of the best challenge groups that I've had in a really, really long time. If you're bored with your challenge groups, if you're not feeling it, neither are your customers, right? And so that challenge group experience is vital to getting customers. So if you're bored with it, find a way to switch it up. Find a way to make it exciting. I was excited to be in that group. I loved checking in. I loved the vibe that we had going on. And I think it's no coincidence that almost every member of that challenge group signed up as a coach, either for the discount or to actually start working. But challenge groups is where it's at. And so constantly finding ways to perfect those and making them more exciting, it can only help you. It can only help you find those challengers. So, all right, before we finish, I want you guys to go back to that piece of paper that you wrote down your goal date for when you wanted to hit diamond. And I want you to ask yourself 3 questions, okay? Is that date representative of your very, very best? Is that goal date in line what you believe that you're capable of? And do you have 110% belief that you can reach it? Does that date scare you? If you can answer yes to all 3 of those questions, don't change your date and send it to your PS coach so that they can help you get there and they can work with you. But if your answer to that question is no, I want you to ask yourself, did you pick a date that you felt was safe, right? That maybe didn't require you to get too aggressive, that really didn't require you to get out of your comfort zone or commit too much to the business. And if you picked a date that was safe, then I want you to ask yourself why. Is it because Are you maybe still doubting yourself? Are you doubting whether or not you can do it, whether or not this is something that you're going to be any good at? Because as long as you're doubting yourself, you're going to struggle, right? We don't want to struggle. We want to build that momentum. We want this to be fun. And so it starts with us. There are so many, we cannot be the reason we don't succeed. There are so many outside forces that are trying to stop you from reaching your goal, right? There's just so many negative forces in the world. You are the one thing that you can control. So we cannot be the reason that we don't succeed, right? So go back to thinking about why you started this as a coach. Why did you sign up? What was that big dream that you wanted when you started? And hold on to that. And then focus on doing personal development that helps you with that confidence, with self-limiting beliefs, because that's something that I have always dealt with. Always feeling like I was different and didn't really fit in. Nobody cared what I had to say. So I get that. And even now, you go through periods of feeling like, okay, I don't know, is this getting to be too much for me? Do I really have what it takes? And so it's something that breaking past that ceiling that John Maxwell talks about, that personal development ceiling, and focusing on personal developments that what you struggle with. So I encourage you, if you're doubting yourself, if you're questioning even a little bit whether you can do this, focus on finding personal development that's going to get you past that. Some good ones are You're a Badass, Good to Great, The Power of Positive Thinking, Unstoppable Confidence. I think that was the name of that one. So those are just some good ones to check out. And I'm done. So I know that was a lot.
That was awesome, Teresa. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And she is like the getting back to diamond queen. For those of you who don't know her story, like she had her baby, and every time somebody gets pregnant, we're like, yay, there goes your business, because your focus just shifts. And, she went down, and then she got herself back to diamond, and then she got Vito to diamond in like, I think it was 5 weeks. It was really quick. So, and once you get diamond, sometimes you lose it. And it's just, once you feel that power, you want to get it back. So whatever it is, for me personally, the very first time I ever went diamond, I remember it was, we were living in Atlanta in a apartment, and I wrote my goals on my window, or not my window, on my mirror. So because we shared a mirror, me and my husband, I wanted him to know what I was working for. And so I put on there, my number one thing was shine bright like a diamond by the end of the month. And I think I was in a 30-day push, and I didn't get there in 30 days, but that's when I zeroed in and focused. And so he would ask me, oh, did you get diamond? He didn't know what the heck what was going on, but he knew what all my goals were for that time. So if any of you guys don't write your goals on your mirror, and when you see that every day when you're brushing your teeth, when you put your makeup on, it's there in your face. So whether you want to make it I think Nikki Galloway's on here. I know she put it on her screen phone or phone, or something that you see every single day. Write it on there what that goal date is, so that you will think about it every day. If you just write it in your little notebook that you wrote down that Teresa said to do, and I love that exercise you did, and then you close that notebook, you're not going to think about it this week. But if you have it somewhere on your fridge, something you see every day, you're going to remember it. So thank you, Teresa. That was awesome. I'll post the recording in the page. Does anybody have any questions for Teresa? It's late. We're tired.
Yep.
All right. Good night, guys. You nailed it, Teresa. Thanks for the do you have one?
Sorry.
Lindsay?
Everybody's ready to get off, but I'll make it quick. I guess just going back to the incentives, you had said something about Amazon and gift cards and things, but I guess I have a hard time of thinking about, if I'm going to do a gift card, I don't want it to be too much or too little either. So what do you think is a happy medium, or what did you do?
I mean, I know in the beginning when I needed the commission to send the gift cards because I didn't have extra income to do it. So I kind of felt like if I was making, let's say $40 off of a challenge pack, keeping 25 to 30 for me was good. So I would do $10 or $15 gift certificates, just depending on when in the month it was. If it was the end of the month, obviously, it's 15, so I can make Success Club. But when I started, it wasn't anything crazy. It was just sometimes, if somebody's ever handed you a $10 Starbucks card, I go through the moon. I'm like, yeah, get a cup of coffee. People we get excited over stupid stuff like that, So that's what I started with. I kind of felt let me pocket the majority so I can contribute. Obviously, I need to make money, but investing, that 10, 15% of whatever I made back into my business definitely, I think, pays off.
Sure.
And there is a cap, just so y'all know, like we can't go over $50. Is there a frog in your,
I'm
I know you're
outside, and
outside.
literally they're doing like, I swear they're doing like backstrokes.
Okay. Like, is that me? You can't portray over $50 for a challenge group type thing. So like, say you're incentivizing your challenge group and you're like, the winner, whoever wins the greatest percent of a weight loss wins $100. You can't do that. The max is 50 for that. But anything you do in private message is your own. I don't recommend sending people $50, but like I had a girl message me. I put it in my team page today, but saying, like, some people know that you give out incentives. So my people have started to ask me, hey, is there an incentive going on this month? Sometimes I'll look at my Success Club points. I'm like, yep, there is, like I actually need this to happen. So it's kind of like a case-by-case basis. Like as far as if you're in private message, you can kind of, like one girl I knew, she didn't have a blender. So I was like, oh yeah, we're offering a single serve blender, like that was $25. That was a big one, but I really needed to hit it. So, it doesn't necessarily have to be like, okay, I'm sending a $10 gift card to everybody who does it. Know that you can do it just via private message and cater it towards what that person needs, what they want. Teresa, I'd be like, hey girl, I'll send you a bottle of wine or a Starbucks thing. Like give them what they want. Because some people, they don't have a Target next to them. They only have Walmart. So what, like she said, knowing what people get excited about, you can kind of cater it towards them. But like she said, I like, don't give more than you're giving. Or I can't even speak right now, but you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If you're getting $40, don't go over that. Like, what's your happy medium? What can you and you can get tiny little things, guys, like hair ties, those little cute hair tie. Well, there's the ones that like don't break your hair, like they have really cute ones, and you can put that in a little envelope, like a couple of them. They're at Target. That's exciting. Like, that's a good day if you get a little hair tie in the mail, just something silly. So
I had people who went nuts over those headbands, those like no slip headbands. I think they were like $6-7 on Amazon, and like people went nuts over them. They absolutely loved them. So yeah. The other thing I was going to mention too is, we have to be on Shakeology every month, right? And especially if sometimes when you get into the multiple business centers thing, you have a couple of orders coming in. Make the Shakeology work for you. So if you have, that was something I did with my coaches who only signed up with the $40 fee. I can get them started for free with the club membership, right? And FYI, that's exactly what Brandy did for me. She knew I couldn't afford Shakeology when I started. She sent me like 2 weeks worth of Shakeology so that when people messaged me, I knew how to respond. I could tell them how it tasted. I could tell them what it did for me. So if you guys have 4, 5, 6 boxes of Shakeology, instead of selling them, send them to your customers who just purchase programs. That's what Beachbody does. If you buy a program from Beachbody, they send you 7-day supply of Shakeology so you can try it. That's how you're going to get your customers to purchase them. Or that's an awesome incentive for coaches who only sign up with the $40 fee because they know the value in Shakeology. They like it. And if you tell them that, listen, sign up with the $40, I'll send you 7 days of Shakeology. That can be a huge incentive for people. So, make those orders work for you.
That's
for sure. And Lindsay, another one that I had just mentioned, every time you guys order a program, how Beachbody always gives you the extra little bonus DVD. FYI, if somebody orders off Amazon or something like that, they don't get that. So that is a perk that you can say, if you order through me, you actually get an extra sample DVD of like the Plyo legs or Extreme and stuff like that. Well, I don't use those. I save them and I'll give them out. That's like what I usually incentivize. Hey, and that way I let people know, okay, I know you're going to get Plyo this time, but usually people don't order because they don't know which one to do. There's so many awesome ones to choose from. So it's like, hey, why don't you go ahead and get Plyo now, and I'll send you the Country Heat one and you can just sample it. Even though we can go into the whole club membership stuff, they can do that. But if they see the tangible thing, they're like, okay, I'm going to be able to try both. And then that lets them know I'm going to be there for you. It's not just a 30-day program. I'm going to be there for you whenever you want to do your next round too. So if you have any of those little sample things, save them around and give them out, or use that and then you're not paying anything. That's a value, but you didn't have to pay out of pocket for that. You just have to pay whatever it is to ship it. But I love giving those out.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. Thank you guys.
All right, guys, it's late. Let's go.
Good night.
Good night.